Who actually qualifies for a humanitarian and compassionate application in Canada? The answer isn't as simple as many people think. And assuming you qualify just because you've been here a long time, or have a Canadian-born child can lead to disappointment. In this video, we'll explore what immigration officers actually look for in H&C applications, what kinds of situations are more likely to succeed, and why some applicants are unfortunately refused. A humanitarian and compassionate application, often called an H&C, is for people who are already in Canada and don't qualify under another immigration program. That might include someone who doesn't have status, someone whose visa or permit is about to expire, or someone facing removal. But just being in Canada for a long time isn't enough. The law allows officers to approve these applications if there are sufficient humanitarian and compassionate grounds, based on things like how established someone is in Canada, what kind of hardship they would face if removed, and how their removal would affect any children involved. What it doesn't say is that time in Canada or having a Canadian-born child automatically makes you eligible. There's no checklist that guarantees approval. It's a discretionary decision based on the full picture. So, who actually has a realistic chance? It's usually someone who has strong, long-term ties to Canada. Things like steady work, community involvement, and clear social connections. It may also include someone who faces serious hardship if returned to their country of origin, especially if they've been here for years and no longer have a support network back home. And, in many cases, it involves the best interests of a child, especially when that child's health, education, or emotional well-being would be seriously affected by a parent's removal. That said, an application doesn't have to be perfect. Even people who've worked without authorization or lost status may succeed if they've shown good faith, filed taxes, taken responsibility, and provided full, honest disclosure. On the other hand, some applications are unlikely to succeed. This includes people who've only been in Canada a short time and have little to show in terms of ties or contribution. It also includes cases where the hardship is minimal or not clearly explained, or where there's a history of non-compliance, such as misrepresentation or ignoring previous removal orders. Officers also expect a proper explanation of circumstances and supporting documentation. A weak application with very few details is more likely to be refused, no matter how genuine the situation might be. And it's worth repeating. Having a child in Canada does not automatically mean an application will succeed. Officers must consider the best interests of that child, but they'll also weigh whether those interests are strong enough to override other immigration concerns. In other words, the presence of a child matters, but it's not the deciding factor on its own. If someone doesn't qualify for a humanitarian and compassionate application, there may still be other options. But filing an application with little chance of success can make things worse. It's often better to get clear advice first than to apply without knowing where you stand. Humanitarian and compassionate applications can be life-changing, but only when the facts and evidence truly support them. If you're unsure whether this path is right for you, it may be time to seek qualified advice. If this was helpful, feel free to subscribe for more clear and reliable information on Canadian immigration.